quarantine with the Jack J. Hutchinson Band. Hello, guys. How are you?
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi, Jack. Jack, we must stop meeting like this.
Well, I know. I mean, I've been inside for like 8 weeks now, so this is my only route to communicate with anybody. So, yeah, we should have actually tracked this since the first time we did an interview, and where I probably looked a little less hairy, and I probably
it's a bit less.
hadn't been surviving on pot noodles for 2 months. But yeah, it's going all right.
And we've got Laz and Felipe. So, guys, give us all a wave.
Hi there, everyone.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Nice to see you.
You too.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah, how are you? Keeping well?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Yeah, just making my way through video games and movies. So, yeah, the normal.
Yeah, the normal lockdown lifestyle.
But now I don't get judged for doing it. So.
No, that's it. Now, it's not long since I spoke to Jack. But the reason we're speaking again is because you've just announced a brand new official live album that you're releasing on the 17th of July. And it's going to be called Who Feeds the Lockdown, which is very apt. So would you like to tell us a bit about this album, why you've decided to put it out now?
So basically, 8-9 weeks ago when all this kind of began, and we were on tour, and we basically had to cut the end of our tour short, and so we were then suddenly in lockdown, and I basically threw myself into recording and sending ideas backwards and forwards with the guys, and we've essentially spent the last 8 weeks recording a lot of material. So there's a question of what do we do with that, and so we sort of reworked some of the songs off my previous solo albums, the current album Who Feeds the Wolf, it's out at the moment as well. And it was just a chance to kind of add a different flavour to the tracks, and some of these songs the guys hadn't played on the original recordings as well, so it was just fab to have them record. So yeah, I guess it's a way of encapsulating what we've done over the last 8 or 9 weeks, and a moment in time which I think is quite unique for everybody.
Yeah. So these are reworkings then, are they, of your previous songs, or just the live versions that have sort of already been recorded?
So yeah, so they're essentially what we're calling live versions. We're recording them in lockdown, and the way that we've done it is approached it as though they were live recordings. So although we're recording in our home studios, there's no tinkering with the tracks. So it's one take or 2 takes on each song. So the way that we've put it together is Felipe records the drum parts, and then I add the guitar and the vocals, and Laz has the bass. And it's quite an intriguing way of doing it. It feels like I'm playing with Felipe, but I'm actually in my flat. It's very bizarre. But I think the results are quite special, really, and it's been a lot of fun. There was a temptation to go back and fix guitar parts or things that you would normally do in a studio setup, but the point was to make it as live as possible.
And I hear that you've snuck a cover of Black Sabbath's War Pigs in there.
Oh yeah.
Along with your own tracks, is that right? Or did I read that wrong?
Yeah. The final track on the album is a sort of 9-minute version of War Pigs. I don't know if you guys want to say something about this, because you two are the massive Black Sabbath fans in the band.
Oh yeah, and just in terms of what the reason we're doing it, I mean, just to add to what Jack said, is that we're meant to be playing shows. Like this quarantine, we're meant to be on the road. We've had dates that have been postponed and everything. So I think Jack said it really well in his press release when he said, we're just trying to give our fans what they're missing, and that's shows, and we want to be playing live as much as possible. So like Jack said, Felipe sends his 1 take thing, he puts the track on it, then I put the bass, and it's the closest we're going to get. And Jack thought, well, it's a live gig. What do we do always on live gigs? A cover. Well, which one should we do? War Pigs? First of all, we were like, whoa, hold on, that's a monster to record all together, but it's what we would have done live, so absolutely. And it sounds.
So have you played War Pigs live before then?
We've started on this tour, haven't we?
Yeah. You had started doing it.
We've been doing this since February, I guess. I don't know. I think the first gig we played was in Cook, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
The first time we tried it live. And the whole thing about the covers is like sometimes we do 1 or 2 covers, and the way we decide on which songs to do is very spontaneous, isn't it? It's like Jack asked us, oh, which songs do you guys want to do? I mean, do you want to do some Zeppelin, some Sabbath? And this time, I think it was Jack himself who came up with the idea of playing War Pigs. Basically, because there's a long guitar solo. He wouldn't say that, but that's the truth.
There's two long guitar solos.
So, yeah.
We also saw Zakk Wylde playing, didn't we? All three of us went to see Zakk Wylde do his Sabbath tribute thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was at the Birmingham O2 Academy, and we all just met up one night. I don't remember when that was. It was February, wasn't it?
It was a special one because it was on the same day. It was like the 50th anniversary of the first Black Sabbath album.
Yeah.
So it's the birth of metal, and we were there in Birmingham celebrating with Zakk Wylde, isn't it? So pretty cool stuff.
That was kind of my idea with it. Really, was that it's the 50th anniversary of Sabbath. So with the Hook gig, it was like we'll do it as a one. But the response was incredible, and everyone loved it. And I was like, well, let's do it next week, and it's sort of stuck in the set for the remainder of the tour. And it's so much fun to do. I mean, I've been playing that on and off in different bands for years.
Yeah.
I never used to sing it because I wasn't a singer in bands. I used to just be a guitar player. So having to remember all those bloody words was difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how Ozzy does it, but at least when I cock up the lyrics, it just looks like I'm giving an authentic version of Ozzy.
It would do. Can we expect you to then go into more of a metal style in future? Or I mean, I've seen the artwork for the album cover, and I've seen your own sort of name that the style the font style that you use on Twitter. And I'm thinking, oh, it's all very metally. If I didn't know any better, I just saw that album cover and I didn't know you, I'd think, this is a heavy metal band. So is that the direction you're gradually going in?
Thing is, I used to be in a heavy metal band. It's just that, I guess the public persona of me is a blues rock guitar player.
That's what I would say, yeah.
Slipknot are one of Laz's favourite bands. We went to see Slipknot last year, didn't we? And, we've got that in us. It's just that I guess what's been presented so far has been more down the southern rock side of things. And, I think genres I always find it quite interesting in terms of discussions about genres, because I just try and write music and I don't sit there and think, this is definitely a heavy metal sounding track, but we've demoed songs for the next album, haven't we, guys? And it's very heavy. I mean, it's way heavier than stuff I've done before, and maybe there is a shift towards that. But I think, actually, one of the reasons I've been into metal since I was a teenager is that it's been a way of channeling, at times, a lot of anger, and maybe that's how I'm feeling. I think that's how a lot of people are feeling right now. I think the last 8 or 9 weeks whilst being in lockdown have been really strange. I've never encountered a lot of the feelings that I've had whilst I've been in lockdown. I think I'm quite a positive guy, wouldn't you say? I don't know.
You find a lot of metalers actually are very, very gentle, quite rounded, sensible people, and I think it's because of the music. You're getting all of those sort of feelings of frustration, anger, sort of out of you through channeling it through the music, and what's left is niceness.
Yeah, I agree.
At the end of the day.
I think Jack is one of those artists. It's wonderful to play for him because you can a different gig will bring you a different thing. If Jack's feeling bluesy, then we'll do 3 blues songs in one of the shows, and if not, then we'll just stick to original stuff. It just completely depends. Yeah. I think one of the main things, Jack, you said about Who Feeds the Wolf is you said it was an angry album, and that's what I really like about all of your music is you just write what's in your heart and what's, whatever you're feeling. So, I mean, objectively, if I was a fan, which technically I am, I'd agree with you, Anne. I'm seeing this metal route, and I have no objections because I'm a metalhead at heart. But I'm seeing this, and it's just the way that Jack's songwriting is taking him. And there's no point sort of sat there saying, "Oh, Jack, don't remember, you got to keep the blues people happy." Let him go with it. That's where all the songs come from. They come from the heart, and they come from.
That's it. That's what people want to see.
So if that's the metal route, fine.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's also the fact that bands like Black Sabbath, they were a blues band. It's a natural evolution. Stepping into different styles and trying new stuff. And if you think about some of Jack's biggest influences, like Neil Young, he never recorded 2 albums that sound the same or even similar. So why sticking to one specific style if you can do more? And it's interesting because we recorded Sleep Awake Obey, which is probably the heaviest song we recorded so far. And in the same album, you've got Autumn Leaves, which is an acoustic ballad with a violin.
Yeah.
So, I think we can do different stuff in the same album. Why not?
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. You've got to keep people on their toes. Now, this new album, we were talking about the cover artwork. Let me talk about the limited edition vinyl you're doing. Because you very, very cleverly chose a very nice colour for your limited edition. Why don't you tell us about it?
So we did a call out. I mean, I'll be honest, I'd already made my mind up what colour I wanted. So there were limited options for people to pick on social media when I said, what colour should we do the vinyl?
Was
so it was like...
You've got choices of purple, and purple.
Yeah.
Purple and black was the other option. But
do you like purple, Anne?
Wait a sec. Well, let me show you something. I put these on. Sorry,
purple leggings.
My purple vinyl leggings.
Guys, we need some of them. We need some of them for the next tour.
You need purple vinyl leggings. That's exactly what these are. That's what you need.
Well, I mean, I absolutely love the colour purple. I always have. And, actually, I'm looking around my living room, right? Because I'm in my living room. These aren't my actual curtains. This is a throw to try and make me look cool. And but there's like so much purple around my living room that I guess it's just that that sort of thing that why not get a purple vinyl? It's going to look absolutely amazing.
Why not? Yeah.
And we've got a Sabbath. There's a Sabbath song on there as well, and so I think it's quite Sabbathy, isn't it?
It's got to be done. It's got to be done. Right. You're actually releasing a new video for Winds of Change, and that's from the new live album. That's being released on the 1st of June. So tell us about this song. This is on your current album as well, isn't it?
It is. It's a funny song, that, because I basically wrote it backstage at Ramblin' Man when we played Ramblin' Man a few years ago. And I wrote, I remember I was in this like caravan. It was great. We had loads of... we were treated really well at Ramblin' Man, and the caravan that we had was absolutely chocker full of booze. So after I played out, I was just in there. But I was noodling away on my guitar, and I came up with the intro riff and suggested it to the guys who were in my band at the time. Like, why don't we go out and play that riff on the stage? So we opened the set on the blue stage at Ramblin' Man in front of this sea of people with this track that we'd been learning, and it was like so crap. They didn't like we didn't know how to play it, and I've got video footage of it. It sounds terrible, but anyway, I went away and reworked it, and I've obviously got a different band now. And it was like, that intro riff. It's got a bit of Thunderstruck in there. I think it's a bit of an type thing, but then it kind of goes into a sort of Blackberry Smoke style vocal, and it's a great song to play live. And when we went on tour. Back in, it was September, wasn't it? October, when we went to Spain, which was the kind of just before the album came out, we opened our sets with it, and it's just a great song to play live. So I thought that's a great song to put out as the first video. And it wasn't released as a single when we were putting the single out for Who Feeds a Wolf. So it's a cracking tune, I think.
It is a cracking tune, and that's why I'm going to be featuring it on my upcoming playlist on PZR Rock Radio. So
awesome.
Thank you.
Looking forward to that. Very welcome.
The title is also pretty apt, isn't it? Just as the lockdown restrictions are easing, Winds of Change, right?
Very much. So yes.
We're not going to say that that's intentional though, because that'll sound so contrived and crap if it's like, we're going to. Because then, when all these plonkers just disobey social distancing rules, and then in about 2 weeks we have to go back into it, it'll be like,
I blame Jack.
That stupid single that they put out.
You jinxed it.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Sorry.
Anyway, guys, it's so nice to speak to the whole band and speak to Jack again, of course. Always an absolute pleasure. Wish you all the very best of luck with your new album. I already know it's going to be great. It comes in purple limited edition vinyl, so it's going to be fab no matter what.
That's all you need.
We'll send you a copy.
Yes, you better send me a copy. Yeah. I look forward to receiving it, and all the best, guys, the rest of lockdown. I will be seeing you on the road as soon as you're on tour and we're allowed to go to gigs again.
Absolutely, let's do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Take care.
So much for having
Thank you, Anne.
Thanks.
Lots of love.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.